Ruben, I think you have the mic not open.
Apologies for that. I think
Okay.
I thought that. Okay, so good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on wherever you're coming from. Welcome to this amazing session. And I'm pretty sure, I'm very much confident that you're going to enjoy it, because we actually have amazing speakers that are actually coming from the LDCs. But at the same time, it's also fitting into the ECOSOC Youth Forum, which is also an amazing forum that is actually happening. And this is another amazing side event. So just to go into the session quickly, without wasting much of the time, I would like probably to welcome you all to the Generation Connect, which is theme Generation Connect Youth Leading Digital Transformation in LDC5, in LDCs. And my name is Ruben Sapetulu. I'm also a youth activist, but at the same time, I'm working for the United Nations Youth Association of Zambia, and I'm engaged in quite a number of things as well. And for today's session, it is actually organized by Generation Connect, the overarching initiative of the ITU, which is the United Nations Agency for ICT's Youth Strategy. For those of you that might be maybe thinking to say, okay, fine, what about the Generation Connect? What does it aim at actually? So the Generation Connect aims to engage global youth and as well as encourage their participation as equal partners alongside the leaders of today's digital change, empowering young people with the skills and opportunities to advance their vision of a connected future. Building on a future, on a Generation Connect's recent participation in the LDC5 Youth Forum and Youth Track in Qatar, this session aims to highlight role of young people at the forefront of SDG implementation and digital transformation in LDCs. The SDG thematic focus of this session is SDG 9, which pretty much focuses on industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Firstly, we will have some opening remarks. Then we'll have two short presentations to provide some context before we dive into an interactive panel session, of which I have quite amazing speakers, which I think you're going to attest to. Then after that, we'll continue with the session, but please note that the session is being live streamed, and it will be, I think, archived and made available on Generation Connect social media channels after the session. And then we have a great session today, like I've actually alluded to. So let's start off with open remarks by Marco Opiso, who is actually the head of the Cybersecurity Division and acting chief of the Digital Network Security Department. So I think let's welcome Marco. Thank you. Marco, over to you.
Thanks, Ruben. And hello, everyone, from wherever you are. It's really great to be here with you today. And you saved some of my time, Ruben, because you explained already what the Generation Connect is, which is really good. So I'm not going to reiterate. Maybe I can give a couple of insight and a couple of data points of why we are here and why the Generation Connect is something that we consider extremely important. So I hope and I guess that all of you know the ITU, the International Telecommunication Union, and as of course part of the UN system as a specialized agency, our main focus is really to try to make an attempt to succeed eventually on achieving universal and meaningful connectivity. We still have 2.5 billion people who are currently offline. So 2.5 billion people that don't have at all access to internet, which of course include youth. And that is where the Generation Connect kicks in. That is where we are trying to build a movement globally to engage the youth as part of the global community that are not yet connected, and at the same time generate opportunities. So we launched Generation Connect in 2020. And we have engaged digitally, we have consulted, we have co-designed with young people, we have tried to build really this kind of a massive awareness on why digital is important and what are the opportunities that can come out from the digital landscape. So from that I guess it's very easy to articulate what is the progress statement here, okay? On the positive side, we still have a critical mass of young people that are still driving. It is still driving force, still driving the connectivity globally. So we have 75% of the youth aged from 15 to 24 years old that are online, compared to the 65% of the rest of the world population. So that's a positive note, because of course, young people are much more, and I'm not considering anymore myself young, but maybe I'm in the middle, but anyway, so they are really the driving force there. They really try to, let's say, to exploit as much as possible digital. However, there is a completely unbalanced, let's say, how can I say, situation in terms of who is connected. So this kind of a connectivity is not uniform across the countries and the region. For example, 90% of the youth with access in Europe is actually the percentage there, compared to the 55% in Africa, which are where almost the LDC are. So especially in LDCs, young people should be given real opportunities to lead and shape the digital future. So here is the big issue. While, of course, from one side, young people are the driving force, but there is really a big gap in terms of opportunities of the digital landscape. And that is where we want to focus our attention. You mentioned, Ruben, last month, Generation Connect 2-part was featured in the LDC5 Youth Forum and the Youth Track in Doha. So within the overall LDC5, Generation Connect was featured prominently on the youth piece. Today's session, I guess, as you indicated, Ruben, we really want to build on that and exporting the experience from the LDC5 young delegates, which are here, and to know more about the work and to try to really to capitalize on all these big events that UN Nation are organizing, in order, again, to have, to enable a bit, the digital environment for youth and to thrive and prosper. And that is really the core work. So the overall idea here is really to generate real impact in the lives of young people around the world, and ensuring that meaningful connectivity, that their meaningful participation as key stakeholder in the implementation of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. And we do this always as a co-creation, and as a kind of a structured thought process where the youth is not only participating, but is basically a key player. So now the question is how we can really put youth at the forefront, and how we can really exploit this massive asset that we have in order for the youth to create this kind of an enabling environment. There are a few things here: safe access to the internet, sustainable digital infrastructure, affordable devices and data costs. All these are big enablers that could drive innovation and the digital empowerment of young people all over the world. They should be given really the real opportunities to lead and shape our shared digital future. So with this little thinking and little thoughts, I really look forward to hear the contribution that are coming from all of you today. I really congratulate all of you on the impact you're already making, because we managed to build a big community, and of course, Tunola is our let's say big and let's say valuable, significant ambassador here. So I encourage everyone to join Generation Connect, and with that, Ruben, I'll come back to you, and thanks a lot for the opportunities.
Wow, that was really amazing. And I've actually picked a number of issues that I will carry as my takeaway points of action. And it's good that you also pointed to the fact that we, as young people, we need actually to be given real opportunities to lead and shape the digital media and also just the digital world itself. And it's really, really amazing to also look at the fact that we're being considered as stakeholders and not passive recipients, which is really, really amazing. Okay, so we move further, and without wasting much of the time, we're now going to the next section. And this segment pretty much aims to give context to the digital transformation in LDCs. And with this one, we're just going to pretty much understand what it means and why it matters in relation to ECOSOC. So I've got an amazing delegate with me called Barakat, and she's going to share a digital leadership journey and what it means to her as a senior product designer and member of the Children and Youth Advisory Board of ITU's Protection Through Online Participation Initiative. So Barakat, over to you.
Hello, thank you, Ruben. Hello, everyone. Awomodola Kubura Kababatunde. As Ruben said, I'll be speaking on digital leadership. But just before that, I would like to talk briefly about digital transformation, because that is what brings us to this digital leadership. Digital transformation is a process that involves the use of digital tools, technologies to streamline operations and improve our standard of living. And we have technologies there such as artificial intelligence, cloud computing, UI UX design, among others. And digital transformation really matters because it contributes significantly to all the fulfillment of every SDG goal from goal 1 to 17, no poverty, quality education, among others. The challenges that are there in digital transformation, we have challenges such as skills gap and talent shortage, legacy system and cost. And the solutions that exist there is like provision of digital innovation hubs, support for women and youths, bringing more people, like more enlightenment program, education and training. That's that on digital transformation. So now I'd like to talk on my digital leadership journey. I've been on a digital leadership journey that has changed my perspective on technology and its impact in society. While growing up, I would just like to bring in this scenario. I wanted to be a pilot, and over time, I got admitted into university to study plant biology, BSc, and I have a BSc in plant biology. At that time, I did not have the adequate information about what I want to do, because it was people that decided for me, oh, you'll be good at this, you'll be good at that. And I also like give to them and apply for those courses in the university. But while after my university education, I started like on a quest for more knowledge that how can I solve user experience for brands and businesses? And that also brought me about into product design. I started taking and learning courses online. It was from there that I got a remote job and started learning about product design. But I still had some challenges while learning. Challenges such as bad laptop, because the laptop I had battery issues and stuff like that. And we have like power supply issues. I wasn't able to like even go to a nearby hub to charge my laptop or to even access the internet. So these were challenges that I faced while trying to learn. And I was able to surmount it. From there, I got a job as an intern from to a full-time product designer, then to the head of product design at Ushitech, where I currently lead. So these challenges are there, and we have several of these challenges, and also there are opportunities that are there. My role as a member of the ITU has given me the knowledge to actually know about the impact of the internet on children, the social vices that we have out there, and how we can work to like address this. And also as a product designer, I've come to learn over time that this digital leadership journey is a lifelong process of learning, and we must continue to like learn and work hand in hand to bring more people into tech. We must actually, to bring more people into tech, we must the challenges that some of us have faced, we need people to also look into this, like provision of laptops for people, enlightenment program for people. We have some people that are just like maybe want to enter the university, so there should be adequate provision of this in place. And also the government looking into this to include the quality of life of people. In summary, I would say that to address the unique challenges and opportunities in this part of the world, things that I've highlighted, like provision of laptops, enlightenment programs, provision of ops, we increase the quality of living, and we allow more people to like venture into tech, to know more about tech. So it's a solution, or it's a race against time that actually starts with me, it starts with you, it starts with like almost everyone on the call. So, thank you.
Wow, amazing. And we're actually drawing some inspirations from there. Thank you so much. So I think before I proceed to my next speaker, for the participants that are actually joining online, if you have any question or rather any input, there's the Q&A section where you can actually put your questions, and then we'll be able to pick it up so that our panelists can actually get to know the question you've actually asked. Okay, so we proceed, and the next speaker that I have is an amazing one as well. We have Amel, who is pretty much going to explain what digital leadership means for those of us who are actually asking what it means. So she's going to explain what it means to her as a STEM leader from Comoros, highlighting also a personal experience in this area as well. Over to you. Amel?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, though your internet is kind of like a little bit unstable. Not so sure. Okay, so as Amel is working on okay, great. Okay, Amel.
Island. Can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear you now. It was breaking, but I think it's a little bit clear now.
Yeah, maybe I'll turn off the video. Maybe it's going to help.
Yeah, much better.
Okay, I hope it's fine. Thank you. I'm Armel from Comoros Island. I'm a youth educational activist, but mainly focusing on the STEM education. So without further ado, we're going to jump on the question on leadership, digital leadership. For me, I would say digital leadership is a leadership that is inclusive and also that is applied to the human rights, because we are living in a world of technology. When you are talking about digital, it's including technology. So for the technology to be accessible for everyone, it has to be inclusive. And when you talk about inclusion, it's not really about one side, but to have all the group included, despite their religion, their race, and their gender. So for us to really align our activities and our life and the work we are doing, we have to make it inclusive and accessible for everyone. So I could say that digital leadership, it's a leadership that is accessible and that is allowing everyone to have access to digital literacy, digital education, and so on. So to talk about my journey and my experience into the digital field, I would say as a STEM educator, I grew up in Comoros, which is a very religious and conservative country. So I wanted to be an engineer from the beginning, but as a woman, my family refused, so I couldn't pursue my career into engineering stuff. So I followed my path into languages and so on. But in 2017, when I joined the NGO that I'm working on, which is called Imara Comoros, we were invited by First Global, which is an NGO that is working on promoting STEM education specifically to young people. So they reached out to us, as Comoros was the only country that never participated in that program. But at that time, we were not working in STEM area. So they said it won't be a problem. They're going to send us mentors to mentor us in order to focus on the STEM education. So it was from that I really revealed my passion into the engineering stuff and STEM education. And I start working into STEM, which has allowed us for the first time, like young girls from remote areas in Comoros who participated in the international robotics competition and who has also won a silver medal, who became second in front of big nation like USA and France. This is to say that we have to believe on our faith and the work we are doing. We may not achieve our dreams now, but it may come within the way if we keep working hard. This is to say that I didn't give up on my dream on working on the engineering side, but now that I find it myself working in that area and being like the mentor of the team Comoros of robotic, and also working with my NGO on teaching girls on Spark, initiating them on computer programming and building robots. So it's really showing that digital leadership is really important, and for it to be available and to be accessible for everyone, we have to initiate young people, specifically girls, into the STEM area from early age. Thank you very much.
Wow. Wow. I've continued to gain inspiration. I'm enjoying this session. And again, I think we're now about to go to another important segment. And before I go again to that segment, I'll still throw in the same appeal that I made recently about the way we can actually participate as participants. So there's the Q&A section where you can actually throw in your questions, your contributions, and we'll be able to pick it up as well. So feel free to actually throw in there. And we've got different people that are actually capturing that, inclusive of myself. As a moderator, I'll be able to also capture your submissions in that regard. So before I go into a quick round of questions for our panelists, I have three amazing panelists, and as the name, as you can actually even see, so I have Irina. Irina, she's also an educator and an innovator. I'm also joined with Hamza. Hamza is a youth leader and an activist. I'm also joined by Huba, and we actually met in Qatar as an LDC 5 youth delegate, and it was quite an amazing moment. And I assure you that as you get to interact with these delegates, it's really, really an amazing moment as we also get to actually listen from them. And then just quickly, I think diving into the question, since I can see Irina is already online and Hamza as well as Popa, I would actually throw a general question to all of you. And this question on just for you to tell us what meaningful connectivity for youth in LDCs look like practically. So I'll start with Irina. Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Ruben, for that introduction. Telling a little bit more about myself, I graduated from Stanford University in the US, and I have been working in education sector to teach girls and minorities a STEM field, also similar to Armel, where I teach them coding, also how to make different robots, code, and so on. And also I have, through Digital Connection, my organization called Nepali Women in Computing, and my Instagram page where I create content for girls with using different tools, because there is a lot of bias in it. So those are some of the things that I've been doing digitally. And coming back to the question, Ruben, about meaningful connection, especially in LDCs, I think that meaningful connection looks like when you come out of that experience, you take away something from it. It could be new information, new connections, discussions, or just some thought-provoking, like experience that makes you think deeper. For example, what is not a meaningful connection is just absorbing through social media, though it is in digital space, and especially in Nepal, where I come from, there are a lot of people who have access to mobile phones, almost 70% of Nepalese, and they also have, and when they have internet in it, their natural inclination is to go towards social media, to TikTok, Facebook, and so on, but they are not using it for information or education purposes. And that is not meaningful at all. So I think that when it comes to meaningful connection for youth in LDCs, it has to be something meaningful to come out of it and not just absorbing random things from the internet. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. And I'll go to Hamza under a minute. Hamza?
Thank you so much, Robin, for the wonderful question. And of course, I totally do have to agree with Rina on what actually means to be connectivity means to her, and especially the youth in Nepal. And I think that reflects on a lot of youths, in particular in the LDCs, when it comes to connectivity. And one thing that I really want to mention is that 80% of the LDCs are not connected, and they're not using internet per se, and which actually it's very problematic issue when it comes to connectivity within the LDCs. And during the LDCs, I think if most of you guys remember, one of the things that they are pushing forward was also to start online universities, where of course is a very good thing for us as LDC youth to get that free education when it comes to online. But again, the issue of connectivity and 80% of the LDCs are not connected should be solved. And of course, this should be started from the grassroots, grassroots level organizations to come and at least contribute at least to what they can in improving the connectivity of the nation, especially with youth in schools and under the age of 18. Connectivity for me, and especially for the Somalis, I think it resonates to most of the countries where there's high level of connectivity when it comes to social media. But this connectivity, high level connectivity in social media are not used in a proper manner. And this needs an awareness and advocacy now, again, to be taught to those young people on how to critically use this social, the connectivity or the internet they have into something which is knowledgeable for themselves.
Amazing. Okay, so we proceed again. We go to Buba.
Ok, bonsoir tout le monde, je m'appelle Bobangora, là,
Okay, Buba, we lost you. Are you still there? Buba, your microphone is on mute, so maybe you can unmute your microphone.
Hello?
Okay. Yes, we can hear you now.
Ok, donc je disais, je m'appelle Bouba Bangora de la République de Guinée. Donc j'espère que mon intervention en français pourra être fructueuse et que tous ceux qui sont là aujourd'hui pourront mieux me comprendre. Alors, je suis cofondateur d'une usine de recyclage des déchets plastiques en République de Guinée. Donc, nous transformons les déchets plastiques en matériaux de construction, notamment les pavés destinés aux routes secondaires et aux résidences. Alors, parlant de la connectivité des jeunes dans les PMA, moi, je veux me dire que bien avant d'entamer le vif du sujet, il faut d'abord se poser la question, à savoir que si aujourd'hui, vous et moi, on arrive à communiquer aujourd'hui, c'est grâce à cette même connexion. Alors, ceci étant que c'est le moyen le plus sûr dans le monde actuel pour pouvoir connecter les uns et les autres dans un travail consensuel. Alors, si tel est le cas, il faut se dire clairement que la connectivité est le moyen le plus sûr à pouvoir faire avancer les choses dans ce monde actuel. Et de nos jours, les pays les plus développés aujourd'hui utilisent s'il faut la connexion comme étant un droit pour les citoyens. Mais cependant, nous, dans nos différents pays, c'est devenu un calvaire. On a du mal à se connecter, non seulement se connecter, mais aussi on a du mal à avoir accès à la connexion par la cherté de la connexion et même par le défaut de la qualité de la connexion. Aujourd'hui même, j'ai du mal à me connecter parce que par endroit, je viens du boulot, mais par endroit, chaque fois il y a ces coins que je traverse, j'ai du mal à vous entendre des fois ou même vous avez du mal à m'entendre. Tout ça là, parce que nous avons nous n'avons pas de la qualité dans ce qu'on appelle de la connexion. Donc, ce sont ces facteurs que les pays, les PMA doivent vraiment investir pour aider les jeunes à s'y mettre afin de contribuer au développement durable de nos pays respectifs. Je vous remercie.
Okay, thank you so much, Puba. And I got quite amazing submissions, and I keep taking note of them. So getting back to Hamza. So Hamza, you pointed out quite good statistics, more especially when it comes to the LDCs and how probably 85% of them get not to be connected. So to probably bridge that digital gap, what are some of the activities that you are engaging yourself that you can actually share with our amazing audience so that they can as well gain inspiration from that, just to see how best we can actually cover up from the digital divide that actually gets to be seen based on the statistics that you've given. Over to you, Hamza.
Thank you so much, Ruben. Of course, when it comes to the case of Somalia, and when it comes to technology and digitalization, we are very much behind than other LDC countries in Nepal or within Africa or within the Asia region, because still our education system are not in line with the kind of acknowledgement that is supposed to be getting. Example, most of when it comes to the pandemic 2020 and 2021, most of the students did not have, their parents even didn't have Wi-Fi, and they didn't have phones to get around to study. So, and the government cannot provide free tablets or phones because of the budget that is in system. So a lot of people suggested an idea, especially in educationists and other youth organizations like myself. We came up with a solution where, when it comes to the capital, of course, those things can be provided very easily. But how about the rural areas? And this is where we had to go back to the old method of technology, which is using radios in terms of giving classes to the students in the rural areas. Such organizations that now, after the pandemic, things went very smoothly using those radios, and the students who were the capital were using their technologies, and we had some donors, international donors, who helped us with that. But again, after the pandemic, we thought about why not now we become more serious in having a platform where we raise issues on digitalization and technology, and we improve from there on. So far we have been doing a lot in terms of and training youths and how to use Excels and normal computer classes in certain rural areas. We are actually established a technology hub in Gorowe, which is in the north of Somalia, where we train youth to learn about computer classes, which is free of cost. And if it's other classes that are advanced, we give them sponsorship or funds from international partners for them to get their things done. But it's not something that, and we hope that we're going to be expanding more to the rest of the country, but it's better than nothing, I can say.
Wow. I can actually even, it's just that I can't probably start clapping from here, but I think I wish I had that option to do so. Okay, so come to Irene as well. I think she mentioned quite amazing works that she's actually doing, and I picked some coding that she's teaching young women, as well as robotics, if I didn't get it wrong. And this is really, really amazing. And maybe just to probably point out some of the issues that you pointed out concerning meaningful digital engagement. I just wanted just to understand how or what mechanisms or probably what innovation have you actually, engaged in that is going to bridge that gap to ensure that young people accessing digital platforms are actually using them meaningfully, but at the same time, they're also not, being just passive or absorbing the information from social media passively. what are some of the innovative ways that you're actually putting in place here?
Yes, thank you for the question, Ruben. So definitely, there is a problem that youth are inclined towards all these social media platforms and so on, and that's not always bad. And how we have been like twisting it is promoting our work on social media as well. For example, the content that I create, I post it on social media so that when youth and other get engaged in social media, they're not only, and it's just not me, I think other people are also inclined towards social media to put their useful content so that people absorb that as well. And in terms of digital space, our organization, we give different workshops digitally so that we can reach a lot more people than only in physical space, which was in COVID times like not possible in the first place, but also coming from different parts of the world. For example, when I am currently living in the United States, and when I want to teach my students, when I want to give workshops, I'm able to do that digitally too. So that was very important to be engaged digitally in that space and not just absorbing things randomly, but giving them information and workshops of important things like how to enter the tech space, for example, or how to get to universities in the US. We did a lot of those workshops so that the youth could be engaged meaningfully.
Amazing. Wow. Wow. And I can see some claps in the chat. And allow me just to also mention again, just to encourage our participants. If you've got any question that is either targeted at Irina or Hamza or Buba, please make sure that you actually throw it in the chat so that we'll be able to pick it up in the Q&A section. Okay, so let me just dive directly to my last question for both, I think, Hamza, Irina, and Buba. So I'll start with you, Irina. Just on your experience, I know you've pointed part of it and you have actually spoken part of your work in digital leadership, but maybe if there is anything that you felt that maybe is really, really important, more especially in your experience, as well as work in digital leadership in the LDCs, that maybe we can as well just learn from. I think it could be actually very, very important for you to bring it out. Yeah.
Yes, I think one of the things that I'm doing that is very personal to me and that is very important is creating content around using tools by girls. And especially in my country, and I know it's still prevalent in other countries as well, which is tools, for example, hammer, saw, all these like digital, all these like power tools and hand tools are only for men. And when women start using it, they even get ridiculed or like they are straight up said that this is not for you. And that has been my personal experience too. But as an engineer, I grew up using these tools and I want to create space for other girls and women too to feel that it is not intimidating and it is for girls and women too to use it. So I create content in my Instagram and YouTube, all these videos that I record, content that I create of how to use these tools and what can be done to like fix things around the house, which can also be done by women and girls, and they don't need to feel that it is out of their space. And when I post things there, I have also received feedback from so many of girls and women that, oh, I've always wanted to do this, but like it doesn't feel right in some ways. And I feel really happy and privileged that I am able to inspire others through my platform. Yes, thank you.
Okay, that's really amazing. I'm actually getting a lot of inspiration. I think I need to, find ways and means of stealing part of your work as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes.
Sorry, I wanted to add, I forgot to mention the Instagram handle is called Girly Tools. And, okay. It's also for a girl, yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so we jump to Hamza. With the same question, Hamza, we just wanted to understand pretty much in depth the experiences or work that you actually have in digital leadership in LDCs? I know you pointed part of it. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. I mean, and since being a youth activist, I've never worked in digital transformation since last year. I started actually doing it last year. And what actually inspired me was seeing a lot of youth not having those benefits in being in the digitalized world, and actually helping them as much as we can. Because most of the young people that I work with in Technology Hub, or we call it T-Hub, in Garowe, Somalia, is they're mostly graduated from abroad, Somalis who are graduated from abroad and came back to their country, and they've seen that there's lack of technology classes, or at least helping those young people in integrating to digitalization world. And we actually wanted to bring those gap close together. So we started actually 1 year ago, and we have been doing amazing work in Garowe. It's not yet expanded throughout of Somalia, but it's now in Garowe, in Galkayo, some few cities in Somalia. And what we are doing is actually giving classes on normal and basic online classes on computers. Now we are doing advanced classes on computers like Photoshop and other classes, and especially for young girls who are based in Garowe, which of course they're trying to be more free. I mean, when it comes to the culture, young girls, studying STEM. I think Irina, that topic is she's more used to that. Girls studying STEMs, especially in LDCs, especially with the same cultures that we have, it's very hard for them to get motivated and recognized. What we're trying our best is for us to at least give them those kind of education for them, and then later at least inspire them to do more when they graduate from their primary or secondary school. So it's something that we started very early last year, and it actually has been going around in Somalia, that young people are doing such programs for young Somalis across the north side of Somalia. And I hope this kind of initiative can inspire others actually to start. It doesn't matter how big you want to start, but as long as you inspire one person and you educate one person, I think that should be something that can motivate you to do more. So that's it, Robin.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And actually taking note of quite powerful statements. And apologies to Buba, was supposed to come to you, but I think due to earlier connectivity issues, won't be able to probably dive in and I think allow you to also exhaust your point. However, if you have like maybe a submission that you have to make in order for us to mitigate this problem, you can actually throw it in the chat so that everyone will be able to see your submission in that regard, as well as responding to the same question that was actually thrown in. And as we conclude with this segment, I would just probably throw it back to our panelists. Because I do know when we get these inspirations and the like, what is it that we have to take away, and what is it that we need to go home with? So I'll just throw it back to you to probably just present your or what you think young people should go away with, that they have to go back and do when it comes to digital leadership, but what role they can actually play in ensuring that these digital divides are to ensure that everyone has got meaningful access to digital platforms. So I'll start with you, Irina, and then we close with Hamza.
Ruben, sorry, you cut off a little bit in the middle. I couldn't completely hear it, actually.
Okay. Which part didn't you hear? I think I'll start from there. Which part didn't you get me clearly?
I think about in the middle, you cut off a little bit, actually.
Okay. So I was saying, after all this amazing work, it would be important that the panelists or the participants that are actually joining in get to, take something home that they have to. I know they have gained the inspirations and the like, but what's your encouragement? Closing remarks. What's your encouragement to them on what what role they have to play in ensuring that they actually break the digital divide and ensure that there is meaningful accessibility to digital platforms.
Yeah.
So I'll start with you. Yeah.
Yes. So one thing to definitely take home is that everybody can be a leader in digital space or in physical space. You don't have to be someone else to like become leaders, or you don't have to wait to become digital leaders. I think you can start small and just start maybe teaching something if you have something in mind and if you want to go and do that. It could be in digital space, it could be in physical space. Nothing is small to start with. I would definitely say that nothing is small to start with in a digital space. Of course, when you think of digital space, you immediately think, oh, I don't have so and so many followers. I don't have 10,000 followers, or I don't have people who have on my social media page. But it's about slowly building that up in digital space and becoming a leader in your space. Yeah.
Great, great. And before I jump to Hamza, I would again throw in, there's a question in the chat box that I have to, I think, bring to your attention as you're also brainstorming, so that the moment that Hamza is going to be giving his remarks, probably you'd also touch base on it, as well as also allow him to touch base on it. So the question is coming from Tong New, and the question is saying, sure that digital leaders in LDCs are not excessively elitist and represent more young people from those regions. I'm going to repeat the question again. How can we ensure that digital leaders in LDCs are not excessively elitist and represent more young people from those regions? So Irina, as you are thinking through, allow me to also throw it to Hamza so that he can as well touch base on it as he's giving his remarks. Then we'll come back as well. Yeah. So Hamza.
Yes, Ruben, and answering the previous question, I mean, what can we leave behind when it comes to digitalization and transformation in LDC, especially in Somalia? One thing that now recently growing in Somalia is cyberbullying and sexual harassments through social media. And a lot of young people are actually suffering from those kind of attacks within the community or within Somalia here. And I don't know if you guys have seen, there's a lot of these issues that have been going on within the previous month, and how we can stop those kind of issues. And one thing that people are doing this because they don't have the advocacy and awareness on how to use the digital and how to use the technology. In what sense is it safe for children? In what sense is it harm for them? And it's for us now again to leave behind an awareness or advocacy where we teach them on how to use it safely. We teach them on how to avoid such issues, and also encouraging and pushing the government on establishing a cyber security unit within the police force where people can report to if they have been bullied, or if they have been their pictures or their videos have been leaked online, where they can go and report. So this kind of issues have been going on in Somalia, and I think that unit will be gonna be formed soon, but still we need to push on such an agenda forward. And
okay, great. Yes, to the second one.
To the second one, I mean, it's true. I mean, we need more young people to be involved as much as we can to transform digital transformation in their own countries. I mean, when you start with ELYSIS, of course, it's good because they have the financial means to go and speak, and which is good. You know, when someone has those financial capability to speak and go around and talk about digital and technology, it's good because it actually helps to bring light to what is happening in the country. But of course, I do also agree with the person who asked the question. We need to motivate more young people in the grassroots to come on board and actually be part of the campaign in improving digitalization in their country. So
Okay, great, great. So I'll allow Irina to also respond to that question. And then I'll throw in our first two speakers to make those to be their closing remarks. Yes, so Irina, respond to that before I go to Amel. Yes.
Yeah, I think it is a sad reality that those who are privileged, those who have access to internet and mobile phone or computer will only be able to represent in digital spaces, and that is the sad reality of today. And we are privileged enough to have this opportunity. I think what we can do is not limit these opportunity to ourselves and give back the resources, because even though you have these resources digitally, sometimes you're not able to find them. So those who have these opportunity, these privileges, should go back and give back to the grassroots and tell them to. And if possible, some organizations, sometimes they have a little bit of budget to give internet access for the limitation of the program, at least. And also another thing is, when these things are very new for the grassroots people, the computer, the internet, they are very intimidated to use these. And that is from a first-hand experience. When I used to teach people in the rural areas, they have never seen a computer, they have never done coding, and they become very intimidated. So I think it will be on us to make them feel more comfortable to these new opportunities for them as well. Yeah, that is what I have to say.
Wow. Okay, that's great. That's great. So allow me also to throw it to Amel and Barakat in your closure, so that we can actually close it with that. I think you have 1 minute each to close. Probably end on time, as stated. Yes. Let's start with Amel.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm really sorry, I cannot turn on my camera. Network is
I don't
not
know, it's
that good.
okay. It's okay.
Okay, please, can you repeat what was the question? Sorry.
Yes, so
just a closing remark.
Yeah. So that closing remark is pretty much directed to the young people. What is it that they have to go? What's your encouragement to young people? What role should they go and play in the digital transformation? Yeah.
Thank you very much for giving me the floor. Or what I would encourage young people is that it's true that we may not have accessibility to all the tools that are needed in order to better work in technology. But I do believe the tools we have on the ground, we can turn them into another tools that is going to align within the technology we are using now. So it's for me like to start with what they have for now. Like I would just give an example. Like when we were young, we were making cars with like a can of tomato or a can, like those kind of like, it creates creativity with the kids. So I think that the importance is to help the young people to grow up with that creativity, that mindset of trying to build something new. If like we have engineers today, it's because they started from their from their young ages to start thinking and working. So for me to encourage young people, it's not to stop doing the work they are doing because they don't have funding or they don't have tools, they don't have computer and so on. They can just use what they have, which is something very special because they have the skills. They have like the ambition to want to change and to want to inspire others, and also to use the tools on the ground to keep working hard because it's really impacting even though we are not seeing the results now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I was going to cut you, but it's good that you've actually cut yourself. Okay, thank you so much for those remarks. Barakat, within a minute and 30 seconds, if you could just probably picking up, would appreciate. Barakat, over to you.
Okay.
Barakat, yes.
Yeah.
Please proceed.
Can you hear me? Okay, I would say between us young people, we can also like promote digital education within ourselves and also organize like awareness program for people that do not know about technology, conduct awareness programs and advocacy efforts to highlight the importance of we youth in the representation of youth representation in digital leadership positions. This will help create supportive environments and generate momentum for change, and also organize programs around digital literacy, provide training programs for young people in order to promote digital education between the upcoming generation would be a great impact to upcoming young ones. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you so much for all speakers that have actually actively participated. I can see the comments that are actually coming in the group and people agree with the speakers. And it's really, really amazing to hear and get to listen to these amazing, amazing panelists that we've actually had today. So, and to our amazing audience, I think you people have been so amazing. And I thank you so much also for your active participation. For those of you that have also managed to also throw in 1 or 2 questions, we greatly appreciate the engagements that we've actually done. And just the last one is just a call to action. We just invite you to get involved with the Generation Connect. And at this point in time, I'll just ask our support team to probably pause for a group photo as we allow those who can manage to, I know others don't have the provision to, probably open their videos, but I think to our speakers, I would allow us to open our videos so that we can get a group photo together. But for now, thank you so much. And I've been your moderator, Ruben Sapeturu. Thank you.
Dear participants, hello again. So now we are about to take a group picture. Please, you can help me with your smile. I will count from 3 until 1. And be ready, please. 3, 2, 1, smile. I will take 1 more, please, just to be sure that we have a good one. 1, 2, 3, smile. Great. It's a great picture. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ruben and Danola.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.
Thank you so much, and bye, everyone.
Bye.
Have a great day. Thank you, everyone. Bye.